Next, from Springfield, Governor Pat Quinn delivers an address to the Illinois Association of Realtors. We hear the governor's comments on what he says is the growing strength of the Illinois economy. This runs about 10 minutes.
All across Illinois, as you know, and I think you know better than anyone, this has been some of the hardest times ever for housing in our country, in our state, in the last few years. And I really admire all of you who are in the vineyard, working with people who want to achieve the American dream. The biggest investment most families make in our country in the whole course of their life is buying a home. And it's so important that we make sure that American dream is alive and well in this 21st century, in the year 2012, and in the years to come. And we can't do it in Illinois without the assistance of the Illinois Association of Realtors. I want to tell you that I have had meetings, good meetings, with Loretta and Greg St. Alban. I want to have an ongoing dialogue with realtors all over our state, in every part of Illinois. We have a big state. We have 13 million people. We're the 5th largest state in the union. And we have to make sure that our housing market is robust in every part of Illinois. We have to make sure that we understand the role, and I know Dr. Hewings will be talking about this, the role that housing has in our economy. You cannot have a strong economy without a strong housing market in our state. That those who buy homes, they are the heart and soul of a neighborhood. Those who are owners of property, they understand that they have a stake in the neighborhood. They patronize local businesses. They go to local stores. They are really involved in the community. So we really have to understand that that is the challenge of our time. We were hit with the worst recession, certainly in my lifetime, and we are still recovering from that. We have made progress, but we have a long, long way to go, especially in the area of helping those who oftentimes, through no fault of their own, they lost their job in an economic recession, a great recession indeed, and they have fallen behind, perhaps on their mortgage. Indeed, they may have been foreclosed upon. And as Loretta just outlined, we have a number of programs we've put together in Illinois to help people get back on their feet. But part of what we have to do is when you have been hit by a tornado that didn't last only a day or two or even a week, but a tornado that's lasted several years, that recovery for many people, they're in trauma. And we have to help those people get back on their feet. And part of our mission in the coming year is to let folks know where they can go for help. And it's indispensable to have your help. The Illinois Association of Realtors and all the good men and women who are in the community, in the neighborhoods. You deal with people. You cannot be successful in your vocation without being a people person. That's what you all are, and I admire that a great deal. I'm inspired by that. You know how to talk to everyday people in plain language, plain understandable language, to make sure that they know where they can go to get help with respect to mortgage assistance and being able to buy a property or to rescue a property that may be in distress. So we talked this morning, we were over at the Abraham Lincoln Library. We had a round table with your leaders and some other housing folks that are going to be on your agenda today, some of them. And we have to work as a team here in Illinois. We have to collaborate. You know, the strongest force on earth is when people of good faith band together, not for profit, for a cause they believe in. And I believe in the cause of housing in Illinois. I used to be the state treasurer 20 years ago. Greg St. Alban was with us back then. He's been with us since Noah. He helped Noah build a boat. Every time I see him, the words housing come right out of his lips, and he talks about the importance of realtors in housing. And so back in the 90s, yeah, times are a little bit better perhaps, but we have to understand that we have seen some really good signs for our economy. Just last week, our unemployment rate went down 0.3%. We're below where we were a year ago, and we got to keep that momentum going. And it's going to be a challenge every day. My job is to get jobs for our state of Illinois. And I'm willing to go anywhere in the world to get those jobs. Some of those businesses in other countries, they want to locate in the United States. They see our country as a safe place to start a business, expand a business, to invest their money. We want them to come to Illinois. Just not too long ago, a month or two ago, the CEO of Chrysler, when I got sworn in 3 years ago, had 200 jobs in Illinois, up in Belvedere. 200 jobs in this gigantic auto plant that Harvard University said was one of the very 3 best in the whole world. They had 200 workers there. Well, you can't do much with 200 workers. Well, this summer, Chrysler's going to have 4,600 workers at that same plant. They've decided. And the CEO, Sergio Marchionne, who came to Illinois to announce the building of the new Dodge Dart. I don't know if anybody here drove the old Dodge Dart. That was in the 60s and 70s. The new Dodge Dart, and I'm willing to be an advocate for this fine vehicle. I've been in it. 40 miles a gallon, 10 airbags, a good family car. They sell 3.7 million vehicles as they did in the past. Everybody will be owning a home in Illinois. That's what we want to do. Grow our economy. We've got to have good businesses that expand, and not just big businesses, but sometimes it's that smaller business that grows by 5 or 10 or 20 jobs. That's what we have to focus on. That's what we work on every day in Illinois. But related to that is making sure that we have a place for people to live. And we have all kinds of different housing markets, as you know far better than I do. And we want to make sure that we fulfill the mission in each of those markets. And again, that's why your expertise, your knowledge, your ability to work with people is so important for our state of Illinois. We will never have full-fledged economic recovery without a robust, strong, growing housing market. And that means we've got to work together. So I see all the panels you're having here today. Mary Kenny, who is our Executive Director of the Illinois Housing Development Authority, is on one of those panels. And I want to commit to you, on behalf of our entire state government, that we have a mission of a lifetime. Really, it's incumbent upon us to come together at this time in Illinois history and make sure our housing market gets fully rescued, that our realtors are as busy as you've ever been. And I look forward to doing that with you and making the will of the people the law of the land. Thank you very much. We have to really have our folks in government work with our realtors and all those involved in housing in Illinois to help full recovery. We have too many of our neighbors who have foreclosure issues. We have to help them get through that. We have a foreclosure prevention network. We've been able to get some money from Washington, from the federal government, over $300 million to help people who have been the hardest hit. We have work to do there. We also have a very creative program where we're working with a number of communities in Illinois. We hope more, where we're buying vacant properties, rehabbing those properties, and then selling them back to folks at a very, very good price with a very favorable mortgage. And that's part of rescuing a neighborhood. If you have a foreclosed home on your block, it reduces your own home value by $8,000 to $10,000. And so housing is a key part of economic recovery in Illinois. We're going to be working on that all year. We're working with our Attorney General, Lisa Madigan, who helped lead the effort at getting a settlement with some of our biggest banks in America on some of the problems that they caused. And with those resources, we hope to really make our housing market back where it should be in Illinois, a place where folks can realize the American dream.
You're watching the Illinois Channel. an independent nonprofit corporation formed to provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of Illinois state government and other public affairs events taking place across Illinois.